many people will think that they will open a company in China, get a work visa, and live peacefully. In reality, they are somewhat mistaken because it doesn't always make sense to open a Chinese company just for the visa. Why? Because firstly, it's not very cheap, and ultimately, the annual cost of maintaining the company amounts to a rather large sum. A real office will cost you from 15 to 20,000 yuan to infinity, depending on the size of your office. A virtual office within 10 to 15,000 yuan if we are talking about Guangzhou. Accordingly, these are the basic expenses. Then there are the expenses for accounting. If you have a company under the simplified Chinese system, it will cost you 4,000 yuan per year, plus the minimum tax so that your visa is properly extended, which is 6,000 yuan per year, or 1,500 yuan per quarter. At the same time, don't forget that in the first year, well, you might somehow avoid paying social insurance, the so-called shibao, but it is advisable to pay it, and that is 1,800 yuan per month. So accordingly, maintaining the company at a normal level so that your visas are properly extended, well, will cost you a tidy sum. Plus, don't forget the fact that if you are going to transfer money through the company, there will be an additional tax. By the way, I forgot about the personal tax, the so-called PIT in Russia, which on average amounts to 200 to 250 yuan per month, depending on the salary level you have indicated for yourself. That's it. However, still, having a work visa for your own company has certain advantages. One of the main ones, which probably makes it economically more or less justified, is that you can arrange a visa for your spouse, your children, and accordingly just spread out the additional payments. But in such a case, you will definitely have to pay for social insurance. As I said, it's about 1,800 yuan per month at the moment. There may be other expenses for the company, but in principle, you don't need to worry too much about them, because they will only arise if you are channeling money through the company. And currently, there are certain difficulties with opening accounts for Russian speakers, including Russians, Ukrainians, and even people from Central Asia. More or less, it's relatively trouble-free, but in Armenia, by some miracle. So take this into account, and don't think that getting a work visa in China is simple. It's not particularly cheap, but in principle, no, it still offers a number of advantages. For example, when I cross the border, I just go through the e-channel, scan my passport, and stand in line without interacting with the border guards. There are absolutely no questions. Moreover, my income is legalized. I receive payments from Chinese partners to the company, and I can receive payments from Russia. There are certain nuances there as well, but in principle, payments go through smoothly if you know how to handle them. That's it. Plus, my company officially has 3 people on staff, including myself. Accordingly, I pay quite a decent amount to Shibao. Just for Shibao, it costs almost 6,000 yuan, which is, well, a bit unpleasant. This money could have been spent on something else. Yeah. So, what else do you need to know about work visas in China? Yes, basically, that's the main thing. Yes, it's easier to open bank accounts, easier to do certain things, but in terms of a significant economic advantage over a business visa, a work visa doesn't really offer much unless your income is above a certain level. Well, it doesn't make much sense.